Let's talk now about subcollections. For subcollections, instead of having just a top-level collection, we can have a collection within a document. This really affects two things, document references and collection references. If we have a collection reference, what we could do is use the collections function. And one possibility is we pass in our database, and then we just provide a string which contains /separated components of our subcollection. So for instance, our top-level collection is restaurants, and then let's say, so here's our slash, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's a particular restaurant ID, and then let's say reviews. This could be a reference to the reviews subcollection of this particular restaurant. That's one possibility. Second possibility is instead of actually constructing the string, we could actually call collection with our database, and then we could just pass in each of the path components individually. So restaurants, comma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which due to the magic of JavaScript is going to be converted to a string, comma, the string reviews. These two are equivalent. I would say this one seems easier than the other. Or we could, assuming that we had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 restaurant, we could say collection of, or document reference, and then we could just ask for the reviews subcollection. We can do this, or this, or this. This document reference might have been something as simple as doc of db, comma restaurants, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The key things to note here are in collection, we can pass a path separated, or we can pass multiple components, because remember before we were just saying collection db restaurants, and we didn't have these additional what are called path segments. Alternatively, we don't have to start at the root. We can just start at any given document and then go down and find a collection. Note, if you're using this path version of it, where you're providing the full path as segments, you have to have an odd number, right? Because you have to end up with a collection name. And we know we start with a collection name. So it's got to be collection, doc ID, collection, doc ID, collection, doc ID, collection. For document references, right, so this is for collection references, because we always create collection references using the collection function. For document references, we're of course going to use the doc function. We can do something very similar. Remember what we did before was we said doc of db, restaurants, and our ID. Really, that's just a specific case where we can provide a number of segments. There just have to be an even number of segments, because we're starting from the root, and we have to end up at a document, and therefore it's always collection document, collection document, collection document. So we could do something like restaurants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is what we saw earlier. But we can also keep going. And let's say we want the reviews subcollection, and we happen to know that the ID of the review we're interested in is 653. This would give us a document reference to a document within the review subcollection of this particular restaurant document. Alternatively, we can use a full path name. So we can actually just provide a single string / delimited. So restaurants / 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 / reviews / 653. Or, again, the first component doesn't have to be the top-level database. The first component can actually be a collection reference. And we will just start from that collection. Let's say, for instance, that we had the restaurants collection. Then we could just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this collection reference could be collection of db restaurants. Let's look at an example. Let's say you have a document, which is a restaurant, and you're trying to add a review to it. So you want to call setDoc. And you have your IHOP doc. That exists. So how could you reference this? Well, what you could do is take a collection starting at the IHOP doc. We know we want the reviews subcollection. So this would give us a collection, but setDoc actually needs a doc reference. So let's add in here doc, take the collection reference, and then what else do we need? We need the new review ID. And this will now be a document. So we could call setDoc doc of collection of IHOP doc reviews, comma new review ID. So this is our document. And then we could pass in the new review. That's an example of how you might use these documents and collection together.